Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video, and this is my top 10 most respected comics and collectibles on Veve today. This is September 2022, so this list may change, but this is a follow-up video to my most disrespected top 10 that I just put out the other day. You can go check that out as well. I'll put a link in the description of this video, and you can compare the two lists right now. And what these are is just measuring, engaging the market sentiment right now, and certain ones that are up in value or down in value, right? And not due to just simply market conditions. This is due to how people are treating them in the app. And it's really important to do these kind of lists sometimes for us to get a feel of how people are thinking, what they're thinking in Veve, and which ones you might want to go after, or which ones you might want to get ahead of, right? So anyway, that's what this is going to be all about. Now, you're going to put in the comment section down below the ones you think I may have missed off this list, the ones you think deserve more respect, or the ones you think are doing really great, okay? So put those in the comment section for sure. And you can also follow me on Twitter, and we can continue the conversation there. The link to my Twitter is always in all my videos, and I will follow you back, all right? So we can continue that conversation there. But let's get into it. We got 10. You're going to want to stick around for the top 3. Even the top 5, actually, they're really great too, right? So let's get on to the criteria of how I measure this, all right? So the most respected, okay? So it's much like, the disrespected video I did as well, not related to market conditions. So I don't want any of these prices. It's not because these prices are going crazy or something like that. It's everything is down in Veve right now just because of the overall market conditions, and that doesn't really factor into what I'm saying right here. Although, when these maintain their prices during this time, that is a major issue, right? They're using real world comparisons. So like I said, so people understand that, if you connect it to the real world value of some of these items, specifically comic books, people still know the value of them, and they're using that to help, keep these on the top 10 most respected, where they should be, right? And then, of course, knowledge, people realize the importance of these items, and so they are holding them up there and keeping them during these down times, all right? So let's get into it. Here's number 10 for you, and this one is highly respected, okay? This is the Aston Martin Secret Rare, and this one has maintained its value really quite high. It's sitting right now at about $16.99, and it's very scarce. There's only about 500 of them or so. And this thing actually, it's really surprised me because, I love this car. I think it's amazing, but it could have totally fallen down to 1,000 or under, much like some others like Vader and other ones like that. But it has held its, position near 2,000, up in that upper range, which is really great. People really respect this one. It does have a lot to do with its scarcity because there's only around 500 of them, but still, this could have totally tanked, and it hasn't. It's done really well, and it should do well. It is one of the best we have on the app for sure, and it's going to be a long-term hold for people. It's holding at number 10, so I put that there. Now, number 9. Now, this is a really fantastic, respected comic, okay? So this comic is sitting number 3. This is Avengers 8, and this is the first appearance of Kang. This has not fallen too far at all. And it's, for a common, it's a super limited, so there's way less of them. But people understand the importance of what's happening with Kang coming to the MCU. And, this comic in the real world is hugely valued, but it has actually done really well. The market price is around 136, 125 to 136, sits in that range for sure. It's the third highest valued common comic on the entire app. So it is definitely respected, everybody, and it should be, and hopefully it stays in that way, right? So let's go on to number 8 right here. Now, I threw Darth Vader on here, okay? So I know his prices come down a bit, but he is still quite respected. All Star Wars stuff has dropped in value quite drastically, except for him and one other guy I have on my list that's coming up. But he's holding steady over 1,000. He could have really tanked down to 600, and you never know, that could still happen. But I think people still really know how awesome this collectible is and how important it is. So he is still quite respected. He's sitting right around 1,000 to 1,100, and he should be higher in my opinion, but during this bear market, that is really, really good. Remember, he retailed for 80, so that is really good, right? So anyway, number 7 right here, Now, this is super respected. This is Pride 1, and this has always been doing well. Now, all of these have come down from their all-time highs, all right? So we all know that. But holding steady at around 850 or so, everybody knows that this is an extremely important piece that's in Veve, right? And also, there's potential airdrop and the utility that's going to be coming. We heard about this already. So if you own one of these, you're doing really great. People have kept it right at that top level. You know, it hasn't dropped too far. And Pride 2 is sitting right there as well, everybody. That one's actually not as looked at as important, but it's down there. But it's also going to get an airdrop, so think about that. So I have this one still on my number 7 list right here at around 150. Now, this is my number 6 right here. This comic, Amazing Spider-Man 252. Now, this comic could actually be higher, but I don't have it in my top 5 just yet, okay, because it's so scarce, and that does factor in. But this comic is definitely respected, okay? There's lots of people who want to put this way down on lists and stuff and rank it way lower than it should be, but it is an awesome comic in the real world, and it's still maintaining its 1,300 gems for the common. I mean, this is powerful stuff, you guys. It has not tanked for good reason, because it's so scarce and it's the beautiful iconic cover, right? So, you know, this one is doing really great right now. It's the number 1 comic on the entire Veve platform, all right? It's number 1, undisputed, all right? And it should be at the top of everybody's list. And it is, it's respected. So let's go to number 5 right here. Now, little R2 is doing super well. He is hugely respected, more than I thought. Actually, I'm really happy about this. I was really surprised that people think of him as highly as I do, because I've never sold my R2 from the drop. The first Star Wars NFT, him and C-3PO, but R2 in particular. He is up around 850, and he's doing really great. He's challenging Vader in a lot of ways, because Vader's not that much higher, and it's really amazing. And he should be there. This is the second most valuable golden moment that we actually have, and probably and obviously ever will have. He's always going to be in the number 2 position behind Walt, where he should be, and he's doing fantastic. So I put him at number 5, you know, and he could be higher, because if you think about what's happened to some of the golden moments, how far they've dropped, he has done really well, right? And he should, because he's the first Star Wars NFT. Now, number 4, this is my top 5. This is the Veve logo that's been handed out at the conventions and stuff, and this one is highly respected, everybody. It's sitting at $2,099 right now for the market price. It is a gift from Veve, very symbolic, very emotional stuff attached to this logo, which it should be. If anybody got this handed to them with the card, I mean, this is one of those ones you just want to hold on to as a piece of history for sure. And I put it at number 4 because this could have completely tanked all the way down to 200 gems for all we know. You know, people could have said, whatever, but it's holding, and it should. It is a piece of Veve history. Let me know what you think and what you're doing if you got one. If I was lucky enough to get one of these at a convention, it would be locked in my vault forever. And hopefully one day I might get a chance to do that. Anyway, that's number 4. Number 3, so I am putting Todd McFarlane here at number 3, and I'm giving a special honorable mention down here to Rizzo. Okay, I don't want people to think I'm forgetting about Rizzo down here. I kind of put them both together, but I'm using Todd as the example right here, because it's the number 1 NFT on Veve in regards to the first one they ever did, and he is holding incredibly strong. Now, a lot of people thought, we're talking about Vader being higher than Todd, and and he was going to come crashing down, and he has not. People understand the importance of this item and this piece right here, and he's sitting at around 1,300 or so, which is really good, everybody, in this bear market. He is holding strong because people realize, this is a key piece, maybe the number 1 piece in Veve all time, because it's the first, and it's Batman's FA. So I put him at number 3. He's not quite number 1. I got 2 that are higher than Todd, if you can believe it. All right, so let's get on to the next one. The number 2, the most respected that we have is AF15 Common. Okay, I know the Secret Rare is crazy. I mean, I could have that on the list, but I want to talk about the Common in particular, because this is a common comic book that is worth almost 500 gems, about 450 or so. It's kind of hovering in that range right now. Super respected, amazing comic, probably the best we have on Veve. in regards to the actual comic. We may never get a better comic than this one on Veve. And so I've been stacking up the uncommons as much as I can. I put them on my disrespected list because they're like half the price of this common. And that's why this common is so high on my, respected list, because it's the cover. Everyone loves it. And the market price is around 50. So this could be the greatest comic that Veve ever gets in history of Veve. Think about that, right? I know Amazing Spider-Man 252 has lower mints, and so it's much higher in value, but I think this is going to get to that level eventually as well. So I have it number 2. Let me know what you think. Now, my number 1 most respected NFT on Veve is gonna be the Amazing Spider-Man Secret Rare, okay? This is my number 1, and I'm gonna tell you why. Even though his price has come down from the all-time highs like everything else, but that is strictly market, he is still the number 1 NFT on Veve, in regards to like ones that actually have normal editions, right? I mean, there's the Bond ticket and stuff like that, and the Donnie and stuff, but he is number 1 in regards to like the main characters that we have. There's 1,000 editions of him, so it's not like there's only 200 or 500, right? There's a decent amount of editions of this, but people recognize how important he is, how important it's going to be. So he's still hovering just under 10,000, around 9,500 right now, which is actually a crazy deal, okay? But it is the number 1 on Veve in regards to all the rest of them, right? So I want to know what you think about this list. Did I miss any? If I did, please let me know in the comment section below. This is really interesting to see how things go. I'll do another list like this in the future, but until then, I'll see you in the next video, and happy collecting.